Hi students, friends, good morning, good afternoon to all. I welcome you all in this fluid mechanics virtual lab session, fluid mechanics practical session. So today we are going to, I am going to introduce you with the fluid mechanics laboratory, and we will see what are the various practicals are there in our syllabus, and we will see the first practical. Okay. So in fluid mechanics laboratory, in our introduction to fluid mechanics subject course, we have the internal continuous assessment. Uh, in short, it is called as the ICA for the 25 marks, and we have the different practicals that we should perform. Okay, what are that practicals that are there in our introduction to fluid mechanics subject? So basically, these practicals, all practicals have been divided into headings, that is capital A and capital B, like that they have mentioned here. Okay, so the capital A is the first practical that we have to perform. Measurement of the discharge. Okay, uh, there calibration of the measuring tank that we have to do, and then measurement of the pressure with the help of piezometer, manometer, then pressure gauges, use of hook law, hook or point gauge. So basically, in this first practical, we are going to learn how the discharge is measured. Okay, that is how to measure the rate of flow, right, with the help of measuring tank. In fluid mechanics lab, how the discharge is measured or actual discharge is measured, that we are going to learn there. And then second part is measurement of the pressure. Okay, for the measurement of fluid pressure, either it may be water pressure, it may be air pressure, right? There are different types of fluid pressures. So how to measure that pressure? And for measurement of the pressure, we have different devices like piezometer is there, then manometers are there, and various types of pressure gauges are there. So you are going to learn this pressure measurement devices in the unit number 2, that is fluid static. Okay, so this is our practical number 1. From B, we have to perform at least 6 experiments from the following. Okay, so there is this is the list of the practicals or the experiments they have given. There are total 10 experiments are there. Out of this 10, we have to perform any 6 practicals or experiments. Okay, first one is verification of Bernoulli's theorem. So we are going to learn this Bernoulli's theorem in unit number 4 from the second section. Fluid dynamics is the unit name of that unit. In that unit, you are going to learn what is Bernoulli's theorem and how to verify that Bernoulli's theorem. We are going to do it practically. We are going to check, verify whether that Bernoulli's theorem is true or not, true or false. Okay. So that is the practical, and that we are going to perform in our lab. Second one is the determination of metacentric height. Okay. So what is metacenter? What is metacentric height? That you are going to learn in the unit number 2, that is fluid statics. And in this practical, we are going to find out what is the metacentric height of a floating object. Okay. For example, if any ship is there which is floating on the surface of water, then we are going to determine what is the metacentric height of that particular ship. In our lab, we have the ship model, and for that ship model, we will determine what is the metacentric height of that ship model. Okay. This practicals we are going to perform in our lab. Third, plotting of streamlines flow net. Okay, so this is just plotting type of with on the graph paper. We have to plot the graphs for the streamlines and then equipotential lines, and we have to draw the flow net. Okay, so this practical we are not going to perform. We will skip it. Just it is for the plotting purpose. It is it has been mentioned here. How to plot that? Performance is not there for this particular practical. Next one, practical number 4, calibration of an orifice or mouthpiece. So what is orifice? What is mouthpiece? You are going to learn in the unit number 4, that is fluid dynamics. And we are going to find out various, what I can say, hydraulic coefficients of the these devices. Like orifice is there, then venturimeter is there. You can see the practical number 5, calibration of venturimeter or orifice meter. So both these devices, orifice meter and venturimeter, or orifice or mouthpiece, all these devices you are going to learn in the unit number 4. And these are the various devices which are used for measurement of the discharge or rate of flow. Okay, and for this both devices, orifice or venturimeter, we are going to find out the coefficient of that device. Means in case of venturimeter, we have to find out what is the coefficient of discharge. That is the what is coefficient of discharge? It is the rate of flow, actual discharge to the theoretical discharge. That is coefficient of discharge. You are going to learn what is coefficient of discharge in that unit. And that we have to find out what is that constant for the device venturimeter or orifice meter. And similarly, calibration of an orifice, here we are going to find out the 3 coefficients, hydraulic coefficients like coefficient of discharge, then coefficient of velocity, and coefficient of contraction. Okay, that practical we are going to perform. So practical number 4 and 5, both practicals we are going to perform in our lab. So total 4 practicals, it is we have seen that we are going to perform. First one, then second one, then fourth and fifth. These 4 practical we are going to perform. Next, practical number 6, study of factors affecting coefficient of friction for the pipe flow, at least for the 2 different materials and 2 different diameters. So this come under the unit number 5. Okay, flow through the pipes. In that, you are going to learn what is coefficient of friction, what is head loss due to friction, and what is major losses, what are various kinds of minor losses. That theory part you are going to learn there. And in this particular practical study of factors affecting coefficient of friction for the pipes, here we are going to find out what is the coefficient of friction for the various pipes, like GI pipe is there, that is galvanized iron pipe, or the PVC pipe is there, polyvinyl chloride, different materials are there. These pipes are made up of different materials like PVC, GI, or cast iron pipe is there. So here in our lab, we have this setup to conduct this practical. We have 3 different materials for this, and we of the 3 different diameters pipes are there, and we are going to find out what is the coefficient of discharge, coefficient of friction for these 3 pipes. Okay, so these practicals we are going to perform in our lab. So total 5 practicals from this, and here again out of these 4 practical, 1 more practical we are going to conduct. Practical number 7 is about determination of loss of head due to the sudden expansion, contraction, elbows, bend, globe walls. So this practical, here in this particular experiment, we find the constant for various devices. Okay, here this practical is based upon the determination of minor losses. Okay, head loss due to various change in velocities and change in direction of the velocities. All this clubbed under the title of minor losses. Okay, and here these are the different arrangements, or you can say accessories, which we use to connect on the different pipe networks. Like sudden expansion is there. You might have seen. So you are going to learn this thing also in unit number 5. Sometimes a pipe is of the smaller diameter, and then we connect that smaller pipe to the larger pipe. Okay, and here what happens, sudden expansion in the cross section area of the pipe, it is going to occur there, and because of that head loss is going to take place. Okay, so this loss is called as the head loss due to sudden expansion. Then head loss due to sudden contraction. If the water is flowing from a larger diameter pipe to the smaller diameter pipe, then at this particular region or section, that loss of head is going to occur. Okay, loss of energy is going to occur, and that loss is called as the head loss due to contraction. Similarly, sometimes there is a change in direction of the flow, and there we use bends or elbows at this particular point to connect the two pipes having two different directions, right? So elbows and bends. How to find out that head loss due to this bend or elbows? Okay, and then globe wall. It is one kind of wall which is attached to the pipe here. Okay, and what the head loss is going to occur because of this wall, that also we are going to determine. Okay, so this is the practical or experiment number 7. Then next one is the study of the laminar flow. Here we are going to study various types of flows, laminar flows and turbulent flows in details in unit number 5, flow through the pipe. And in this experiment, we are going to determine whether flow which is taking place through the pipe, whether that flow is laminar flow or whether it is turbulent flow. Okay, that we are going to determine by just observing here, or visualization also we can determine whether the flow is laminar or turbulent. In this particular experimental setup, we use one kind of dye. Chemical is we are going to use liquid chemicals, and it is going to flow here along with the water. Okay, and there is a transparent pipe here, so we can see inside the pipe what is happening there. Okay, water is flowing, water is transparent, we cannot see the turbulence of the water easily, but here we are using a chemical dye which is blue in color, so it can be observed. If the dye is flowing in straight line, we can say the flow is laminar flow, and if the dye is moving in a zigzag way, we can say that flow is turbulent one. So by visualization also we can check whether the flow is laminar or turbulent, and with the help of some mathematical expression which is given by the Reynolds number rho Vd upon mu. There is one expression for the Reynolds number. Here, with the help of these values, we are going to find out what is the Reynolds number for that particular type of flow. And if the Reynolds number, if its value is greater less than 2000, then we can say that the flow is laminar flow. And if its value is greater than 4000, then we say the flow is turbulent flow. And if the value is in between 2000 and 4000, then we can say the flow is transitional flow. Okay, so like this, we are going to determine the type of flow. Okay, we are going to learn determine the type of flow, whether the flow is laminar or turbulent one. Okay, and then next one here we are going to perform this practical. So on the previous slide there were 5 practicals, and plus this one total 6 practicals we are going to perform here in our lab. Next one is the study of the Moody's chart nomograms for the pipe design. So Moody's chart is one kind of chart, and nomogram is another different way of determining the unknown quantity in the fluid flow. Okay, instead of doing mathematical calculations, complex mathematical calculation, different scientists or engineers have found a shortcut for this complex calculation. They have prepared different charts, and with the help of these charts, we can easily find out the unknown entity. Okay, so that we are going to learn in this practical. Last one, simple computer program, at least 3 based on the syllabus. So here, computer program is how we are going to suppose discharge is there. There are different types of formulas that we use in the fluid mechanics. Okay, and this formulas, what we have to do, we have to make put that formulas in the Excel sheet, or we have to put that formulas in the any particular program, C program or C++ program. And then instead of doing calculation on the calculator directly, if you just put that values here in that particular Excel sheet or that formula, then directly you will get the value of that particular entity. For example, discharge has the formula area into velocity. This is one formula. Okay, and if we put this formula in Excel sheet, okay, in Excel sheet we can prepare the formula for that. In there will be 3 columns. In one column we will write down here discharge, in another column we will write here velocity, area, and another column we will write velocity. And we have the formula Q equal to A into V. Here we can give the formula to this particular cell. Okay, what will the formula to this cell? The formula will be cell number of this particular column, and this is the cell number. That's a multiplication, right? And if we put the value of area and velocities directly, you will get the discharge here. Okay, so this is an simple example I have given to you. Similarly, we can use the program for finding the other formulas, okay, other values. For example, head loss due to friction, we have one formula, Darcy-Weisbach formula, HF is equal to 4 FL square upon 2ZD. Okay, this is one formula. So we can put all these values here in the Excel sheet, and directly after putting that values, we can get what is the value of HF. Okay, so in this way, we can prepare the number of problems formulas here for the calculation purpose. So this was the ICA. Here we are going to perform the total 7 practicals. Practical number this one, including this one. This is the first one, and 6 from this one. Okay, total 7 practicals are there, and you have to write down all these practicals in your notebook also. Write up. We have to submit it, and it has the weightage of 25 marks. Term work, so that term work is of the 25 marks. Performance of the practicals, then your involvement in that practicals, then your write-up, all this collectively you are going to get the marks for this ICA out of 25. Okay, so this was an overview about the introduction to fluid mechanics lab. Now here we are going to I'm going to introduce you with the fluid mechanics lab. What are the things are there in our fluid mechanics laboratory, and all these things may not be useful in this particular semester. Some of the devices, some of the equipments you may use in the second semester, that is in hydraulics subject. Okay, that is FM2. Okay, but you are not going to get the repetition of this introduction of the lab in second semester. So that's why here we are going to do the introduction of the fluid mechanics lab. So fluid mechanics lab laboratory equipments, we can broadly classified in 4 types or 4 categories. First one, you can see there on the slide. First category is about the hydraulic machines. Okay, so fluid mechanics lab, we can classify in these 4 categories. First one is the hydraulic machines. Second one, measuring devices. And then third one, flow of the fluids and flow through the pipes. Okay, now here we are going to see in detail, more detail about all these 4 categories. The first category is about hydraulic machines. In hydraulic machines, again, we can classify the hydraulic machine in 2 categories. First one is the hydraulic turbine. Okay, and second one is the hydraulic pumps. So these are the 2 basic classification again there in the hydraulic machines. Hydraulic machines can be classified in these 2 categories. Again, in turbines, we have the different types of turbines. Okay, turbines can be depending upon the function. Turbines can be wind turbine, it may be hydraulic turbine. But in case of our fluid mechanics lab point of view, in our lab we are restricted only the hydraulic turbine. Okay, we are not going to learn about the wind turbines. Okay, steam turbines are also there. There are different types of turbines, but hydraulic turbines are our concern, because in our civil engineering point of view, these hydraulic turbines are important. In hydraulic turbines, in FM2, you are going to learn these hydraulic machines. The one unit, separate unit, will be dedicated to the hydraulic turbines. So one separate unit will be dedicated to the hydraulic pumps. Okay, and there in hydraulic turbines, we are going to learn the different types of turbines, like Pelton wheel turbine is there, then Francis turbine is there, Kaplan turbine is there. Okay, so various turbines, their working principle, and you are going to solve the different types of problems about design of this turbines. Okay, in our lab we have this various turbines. Pelton wheel turbine is there, Francis turbine is there, Kaplan turbine is there. Okay, but you are going to learn in this thing in the fluid mechanics too. Then comes the pumps. In hydraulic pumps, we basically the most 2 commonly used pumps are first one is the centrifugal pump, and the second one is the reciprocating pump. Okay, And this centrifugal pump is most widely used pump that you are going to learn in the both pumps you are going to learn in the FM2, and you have the practicals on this also. Okay, performance determination of the performance of the centrifugal pump and reciprocating pump. We are going to find out the efficiency of these pumps. Okay, you will learn that hydraulic machines in the FM2. Then comes the measuring devices. So in fluid mechanics lab, measuring devices broadly can be classified in again two categories. First devices we can call them as pressure measuring devices, and second devices we can classify it as a discharge or velocity measuring devices. Okay, so we can classify in these two categories. Now in pressure measuring devices, we have the different pressure measuring devices like pressure gauge is there. You might have seen the pressure gauge at home. Not at home. If you go for the filling the air in the tube tire, our bicycle tire or bike tire or van tire. So at that time, to check the air of that tire, okay, how much air is there, how much air pressure is there, that particular person mechanic, he used the one kind of gauge, and that gauge is nothing but it is a one kind of pressure gauge, right? That devices are used for measurement of the pressure. Similarly, various types of manometers are there. Simple ET manometer, differential manometers are there, and then piezometers are there for the measurement of pressure head. So piezometer do not directly measure the pressure intensity, but it measures the pressure head, and from that pressure head we can convert this pressure head into the pressure intensity or pressure. Okay, you have to learn to convert करता है. So these devices are there in the fluid mechanics laboratory for the measurement of the pressure. Okay, and our practical number one, it is based upon these two things: measurement of the pressure and measurement of the discharge. So for the measurement of the discharge and velocity, we have the different devices like venturometer is there, then rotameter is there, then orifice meter is there, and for the measurement of the velocity, pitot tube, one device is there. So this pitot tube, it can be used for measurement of the velocity through the pipe, liquid flowing through the pipe, or liquid flowing through the open channel. Okay, एक नदी आहे, त्या नदीमधून वाहणारे जे पाणी आहे त्याचा आपल्याला जर डिस्चार्ज मेजर करायचं असेल, then also we can go for these pitot tube devices for measurement of the velocity. Okay, so these are the devices that are used for measurement of the discharge. But in our practical number one, we are going to find out the actual discharge without use of these devices. Suppose you don't have these devices for measurement of discharge. So with the help of any container or with the help of any tank, how we can measure the discharge flowing through the pipe. Okay, so that thing we are going to learn in the practical number. So this was, we have seen these hydraulic machines, and now measuring devices also we have seen. Now next thing is about the flow of fluid. So what are the various practicals you are going to perform in this particular category? Flow through the pipe and flow of fluids. These are the 2 points, last 2 points, these are there. So flow through the pipes, here in our FM fluid mechanics lab, we have the two devices for the measurement of the head loss due to major losses and minor losses. Just before a few minutes I have told you there are two types of losses happens when the fluid flows through the pipe. One loss is called as the major loss and another loss is called as the minor losses. For the measurement of major loss, okay, there is one separate device or apparatus is there. So we have the one separate practical on this. And for measurement of the minor losses like certain expansion, certain contraction, then bends and elbows, we have the another device for this purpose. Okay, another apparatus is there to perform this minor losses practical. And last one, flow of the fluid. Here we are going to learn the principle of the Bernoulli's theorem. Okay, what Bernoulli's theorem says: the total head loss remains same throughout the section, and we are going to verify this theoretical concept of the Bernoulli's, whether it is true or false, experimentally. Okay, so there is another practical based upon this, which is called as the verification of Bernoulli's theorem. Okay, and this apparatus is there in our laboratory. So this is just an introduction of the lab. What are the equipments are there in our lab? that I have told you in a short way, in a short manner. Now, coming to the our practical number 1 here, we will see the practical number 1, measurement of the pressure with the help of manometer, pressure gauges, and discharge measurement, or measurement of the discharge with the help of measuring tank. Okay, this is our practical number 1. Now here, first we will see the measurement of pressure. Okay, and then we will see measurement of discharge. First we will see how to how the pressure is measured, what are the various devices that are used for measurement of pressure. So let us first of all understand some basic theory part which is required here. Measurement of pressure. Okay, fluid pressure, it can be measured with the help of two devices. Broadly, it can be classified in two devices. One is the manometer, and second one is the mechanical gauges. Okay, in manometer again we have simple manometers and differential manometers. You are going to learn in details this part in the unit number 2. Just I am giving here overview about this. Then in mechanical gauges, we have the different types of mechanical gauges, like diaphragm pressure gauge there, then Bourdon tube pressure gauge is there, then deadweight pressure is gauge there, and bellows pressure gauge. Out of this, in our syllabus, we are going to learn this Bourdon tube pressure gauge. Okay, in lab also we can see this pressure gauge. So now here, first of all, we are going to see how the pressure is measured with the help of manometers. In the manometers, simple manometers, again in simple manometers, we have the three types of the manometers, simple manometers. One is the piezometer is there, then simple tube manometer is there, and single column manometer is there. So first of all, you should know how to measure the pressure with the help of piezometer. Okay, you can see here. So piezometer is nothing but, or sometimes it is also pronounced as a piezometer. Okay, some people pronounce it as a piezometer, or some people pronounce it as a piezometer. So this piezometer, you can see, piezometer is nothing but it is this transparent tube. Okay, हे जे ट्रान्सपरंट ट्यूब आहे त्या ट्यूबलाच आपण या ठिकाणी पिझोमीटर म्हणतो. इट इज नथिंग एनी कॉम्प्लेक्स or different devices. It is just simple a transparent tube which have some graduations on it for the measurement of the pressure head. Okay, this tube can be like this, or it can be like this, or it can be just a vertical one transparent glass tube, which is called as the piezometer. Okay, in this piezometer, what we measure, we just measure this column of liquid, okay, or the column of fluid, how much it has been raised. Okay, किती वाढलेला आहे तो जो कॉलम आपण या ठिकाणी चेक करतो. So this is this height or head, it is called as the pressure head. याला आपण काय म्हणतो, याला आपण म्हणतो pressure head. So with the help of this piezometer, basically we do not get directly pressure value. Okay, डायरेक्टली आपल्याला प्रेशर भेटत नाही. ओके, प्रेशर किंवा त्याला आपण प्रेशर इंटेन्सिटी म्हणतो. ही प्रेशर इंटेन्सिटीची जी व्हॅल्यू आहे डायरेक्टली वी डू नॉट गेट विथ द हेल्प ऑफ दिस piezometer. What we get the pressure head, and we have to convert that pressure head H into the pressure intensity by using this formula. Okay, so it is based upon the hydrostatic law of force. Okay, hydrostatic law is there in our unit number 2. You are going to learn that. So P is equal to gamma H. Gamma is nothing but it is, what is gamma H? Gamma, it is
density.
Correct. It is weight density of the fluid, and H is nothing but it is the head, pressure head, how much liquid has been raised there in the tube. So if you multiply the weight density by this capital A, this pressure head, you will get the pressure intensity. So observation table will be like this. There will be 3 columns, serial number, pressure head, and pressure intensity in Newton per meter. In SI unit, we measure the pressure intensity in Newton per meter square. And pressure head, it is the head, okay, or it is the height. So it is measured in meter. Okay, So this will be the simple observation table, and you will write down values here. So now you open your notebook. Notebook तुमची open करा, and in your notebook, first of all, write down the title of our practical number 1. Write down the title, practical number 1. Measurement of pressure. Measurement of pressure in bracket. Manometer, pressure gauge. And discharge. Measurement of pressure in bracket. Manometer, pressure gauge, bracket complete, and discharge. Bracket in bracket, measuring tank. This is the title. Then next write down measurement of pressure with piezometer. Measurement of pressure with piezometer. And then below that title, just draw a rough sketch of the piezometer, in which you have to show, see here, this diagram, this circular, this is the cross section of the pipe, this is the pipe, right? This is the water, you can see. And we want to find out what is the pressure intensity at the pipe, at the center of pipe. So we have connected here piezometer. So here we are interested in PA. You can write here PA or here. Okay. Write down this formula below that, this diagram. So PA is equal to gamma L. You can write here L also. Gamma L H. H is nothing but it is pressure head. Okay. Do it. हा ऑब्झर्वेशन टेबल पण खालचा तयार करून घ्या. Okay. Next, write down their titles. Measurement of pressure with simple tube manometer. Write down the title. Measurement of pressure with the help of simple tube manometer. So you can see in the diagram, this is the diagram of simple tube manometer. Why it is called U-tube? Because it is bent in U shape. You can see there are two limbs. This is the right limb and this is the left limb of the manometer. And in this manometer, simple tube manometer, some manometric fluid will be used. Generally, mercury is used as a manometric fluid. Okay, Hg. And this manometric tube, it is connected to the pipe to which we need to measure the pressure. या पाईपचा आपल्याला प्रेशर मेजर करायचं आहे, त्या पाईपला ही सिम्पल ट्यूब मॅनोमीटर कनेक्ट केलेलं असतं. Then when water will start to flow through this pipe, okay, because of pressure, water will come inside this pipe, and this mercury level initially it will be same in both the pipes. But when, because of the pressure inside this pipe, This mercury level, it will get pressed down, and this mercury level in the right limit will increase here. And here what we do, we take the measurement of these columns from the datum. ज्या लिंब मध्ये किंवा ज्या साइडला मर्क्युरी लेवल सगळ्यात खाली असते, in this case this is the mercury level, so that will be considered as a datum, and from this datum this height is calculated. So this one is called as the h1, and this rise in mercury level here, it is called as the h2. अशा दोन h1 and h2 calculate करायचे. Then after that, here with help of this formula we find out what is the pressure intensity. Okay, what is that formula? P is equal to gamma h2 gamma 2 h2 minus gamma 1 h1. Gamma 2 is nothing but it is the weight density of mercury. Gamma 1 is the weight density of the liquid flowing through the pipe. Okay, if generally common fluid is the water, so we can say that it is the weight density of water. What is h1? H1 is the height of the fluid in the left limb. h2 is the height of the fluid in the right limb above this datum. There is another formula. This is one formula. This is another formula to find out the another way to find out the pressure intensity. Directly, instead of finding directly pressure intensity by using this formula, first of all, in this method we find out what is the pressure head. Okay, HA by using this formula H2 S2 minus H1 S1 H1, and then we multiply that value by gamma W, that is weight density of water. Okay, once you multiply this weight density by this HA, you will get the pressure intensity, and this both pressure intensities are same. Okay, you can either use this formula or this formula. Okay, now here draw this simple diagram, write down these formulas, and prepare this observation table. Observation is table for the H1 and H2. What observations we have to perform while finding the pressure intensity using simplicity parameter? Just we have to need to find out the H1 and H2 values from the datum, that is the lowest point of the mercury. तिथून H1 and H2 ची व्हॅल्यू फाइंड आउट करायच्या. या व्हॅल्यू या ठिकाणी टाकून द्या. Gamma 1 gamma 2 ची व्हॅल्यू आपल्याला माहित असते. Then put that values in this formula, you will get the pressure intensity at that particular point. Okay, so write it down, do it fast. Next, this was about the simply tube manometers, how to measure the pressure with help of simply tube manometer. Next is about the differential tube manometer. Sometimes instead of finding the pressure intensity at a particular point, we need to find out what is the difference in the pressure between the 2 points. Okay, like in the case of venturimeter also. That venturimeter working is based upon the creating pressure difference. Suppose this is one pipe, and this is one cross section, and this is another cross section. Okay, because of change in cross section area, this pipe at this particular now, because of this change in cross section area, the pressure intensity will be different here, and the pressure intensity will be different here. Okay, then I want to find out what is the pressure difference between these 2 points. What are the 2 points? Section 1 and section 2. Then to find out this pressure difference, we cannot use the piezometric tube or the simply tube manometers. It will not directly give the pressure difference values, but here if we go for these differential manometers, differential manometer means this part. Okay, it will have the 2 limbs, and one limb will be connected to this section. Okay, and another limb will be connected to this section, like this. Manometer will be differential manometer will be connected, Okay, and it measures the pressure. Where the pressure is high, the mercury will drop below, and where the pressure is low, mercury will rise there. Okay, and we measure the difference between these two values. Okay, and from that we can find out what is the pressure at section 1, difference between these two, Pa minus P2 or P2 minus P1, P1 minus P2, P2 minus P1. So this pressure difference we can find out. Okay, as it measures the pressure difference, it is given the name as a differential YouTube manometer. Okay, so write on the title, measurement of pressure difference by using differential YouTube manometer. Measurement of pressure, measurement of pressure difference using differential YouTube manometer. This is the formula. To find out the Pa minus Pb. Okay, so before that you can draw the diagram. This diagram, this is the liquid A and liquid B, or point section A and section B, like that you can use the notation. Then Ha minus Hb. I will draw the diagram here for you. This is pipe A, this is pipe B. H1, this is H2, this is H3. Generally, mercury is used here as a manometric fluid, which is given here notation S, and here S1 for this. This is the S. Here, the same fluid is flowing, so specific rate of the liquid flowing through the pipe is the S. I will wait for a minute. So here, write down this formula. Pa minus Pb is equal to gamma W in bracket Ha minus Hb. All this explanation or the derivation of formula we will learn in details in the unit number 2, fluid statics. If I go on telling this, it will take a lot of time. This is the observation table for this. Now here, manometric reading has been denoted by letter small h. So in this diagram, instead of mentioning these values H1, H2, H3, just write down H. That is a difference in the mercury. Okay. HA minus HB, how we are going to calculate? For finding HA minus HB, we have this formula. Note down this. HA minus HB is equal to H into S minus S1 . Now this formula, I am going to simplify it for you. HA minus HB is equal to, now here in our lab particularly we deal with the water and mercury. So water has the specific gravity, mercury has the specific gravity. We have learned how much it is. What is the specific gravity of mercury? Yes, we will tell. And specific gravity of water?
13.6.
And of that water, it is 1. So here directly you can put these values and you can write HA minus HB is equal to 13.6 minus 1, it will be 12.6, 12.6 into H, right? So just we have to measure the difference in the mercury level. Okay, ज्या ठिकाणी जास्त आहे आणि ज्या ठिकाणी लोअर आहे त्याचा फक्त डिफरन्स हा तुम्हाला त्या ठिकाणी मेजर करायचा आहे. ओके, हा डिफरन्स मेजर केल्यानंतर दिस व्हॅल्यू इज नथिंग बट H. Put that value here in this formula. Okay, and हे आपण या ठिकाणी ऑब्झर्वेशन करताना H ची व्हॅल्यू फक्त अगोदर हे ऑब्झर्वेशन करायचे, लिहून ठेवायचे. In after that multiply that value by 12.6, you will get the value of HA minus HB. Okay, and once you get the value of HA minus HB, multiply it by gamma W, you will get here the pressure difference. Okay, pressure intensity difference. Right, these are the head difference, pressure heads are difference are here, and this is the difference of the pressure intensity. Gamma W, what is gamma W? It is the weight density of water. Means we have to multiply this column by 9810. या कॉलमला आपल्याला काय करायचं, 9810 ने मल्टिप्लाय करायचं. त्याचं युनिट असेल मीटर, मीटर ऑफ वॉटर, and here unit is Newton per meter square. This way you can find out the pressure difference between 2 points. That 2 points may be on same pipe, or that 2 points may be on different 2 pipes. Okay, have you prepared this observation table? Yes or no? If it is not, then you can prepare it right now. झाल्यानंतर मला सांगा. So till now we have seen that how to measure the pressure and pressure difference with the help of piezometer. How to find out that we have seen. Then with the help of simple tube manometer, how to measure the pressure, and with the help of differential tube manometer, how to measure the pressure difference that we have seen here. And next one is the measurement of pressure by Bourdon tube pressure gauge. How to measure the pressure with the help of different gauges. So here in the diagram you can see, this is the diagram of Bourdon tube pressure gauge. On the left side you can see there is a inner mechanism of working of this Bourdon tube pressure gauge. It has been shown here, and this is the external view of that Bourdon tube pressure gauge. हे आपण सगळ्यांनी पाहिलं असेल, आपल्या पंपच्या घरी पंप जो असतो त्याच्यावरती बसवलेला असतं, किंवा आपण ज्यावेळेस एअर चेक करायला जातो गाडीच्या आपल्या, त्यावेळेस त्यांच्याकडे जो प्रेशर गेज असतो ते अशा टाइपचा प्रेशर गेज आपल्याला या ठिकाणी पाहायला भेटतो. ठीक आहे. So here if you see on this particular pressure gauge there is a dial. Okay, and there is a graduations have been put here on this particular dial. From the outside there is one scale is there, and from inside there is a different scale is there. Okay, there are two scale and two different units are there. One is the PSI, this unit is there, and outside there is one another unit that is kg per centimeter square. ओके, जर आपण बाहेर साईडने रिडिंग घेत असेल तर त्यासाठी युनिट आहे केजी पर सेंटीमीटर स्क्वेअर, आणि आतल्या साईडला जे आहे ते आहे PSI, दॅट इज पाऊंड पर सेकंड स्क्वेअर इंच, पाऊंड पर स्क्वेअर इंच. ओके, एका स्क्वेअर इंच वरती किती पाऊंड वेट आहे. सो दॅट इज दॅट मच प्रेशर इज will be there. Okay, and kg per centimeter square means for 1 centimeter square how much pressure force is there. So that is kg per centimeter square. Okay, generally in our day-to-day life we use this psi unit when we go for the air checking. You check whether that air is 30 in front wheel and rear wheel. In front wheel, I think generally we put the air of the 30 psi, and on the back wheel, rear wheel, 40 psi unit, that air should be there. Like that we check it with the help of this pressure gauge. Okay, this is the Bourdon to pressure gauge. वरून आपल्याला हे असं दिसतं, आणि हा जो पॉइंटर आहे, ज्यावेळेस आपण हा कनेक्ट करतो ट्यूबला वगैरे आपल्या टायरला, त्यावेळेस हा पॉइंटर या ठिकाणी आपल्याला मूव्ह झालेला दिसतो, वरती गेलेला. ओके, त्याच्या मागचं मेकॅनिझम हे आपल्याला या डायग्राम मध्ये पाहायला भेटतं. See, when we connect any this Bourdon to pressure gauge to any pipe or to the tube which is having higher pressure, at that time what happens, that fluids, either it will be liquid or the air, it will move inside this and it will move here up to this. Okay, this is the hollow cylindrical elliptical pipe. हा एक hollow pipe असतो, आतून empty असतो. Okay, it is made up of the metal, okay, which is flexible in nature, and other end of this tube, elliptical tube, it is closed one, हा बंद असतो. ज्यावेळेस आपण याच्यामध्ये एअर फिल करतो, at that time what happens, because of the rise in pressure inside the tube, this tube which is flexible in nature, it try to become straight. Okay, straight होण्याचा प्रयत्न करते, but it cannot become straight because it is restricted here by the outer casing. हे जे केसिंग आहे, केसिंग मुळे त्या ठिकाणी त्याला मुवमेंट करता येत नाही. बट याच्यावरती हा जो पुढच्या भागामध्ये मेकॅनिझम जो कनेक्ट केलेला आहे, त्याची मुवमेंट या ठिकाणी आपल्याला पाहायला भेटते. ओके, अँड इट इज कनेक्टेड टू दिस पिनियन सेक्टर अरेंजमेंट. ओके, हे पिनियन सेक्टर अरेंजमेंट आहे, आणि हे काय होतं या ठिकाणी, ज्यावेळेस हा मुवमेंट होतो त्यावेळेस पिनियन सेक्टर अरेंजमेंट पण या ठिकाणी काय होते, क्लॉकवाईज और अँटी क्लॉकवाईज या ठिकाणी मूव्ह होते, आणि याच्यावरती हा पॉइंटर बसवलेला आहे. जो आपल्या डायल गेज मध्ये हा जो पॉइंटर दिसतो, दॅट पॉइंटर इट इज कनेक्टेड टू दिस सेक्टर अँड पिनियन अरेंजमेंट. सो व्हेन pressure increases at that time, because of this rise in pressure, this tube try to become straight, and at that because of that there is a movement takes place, and because of this movement this pointer it moves from its place and it will show the reading. Okay, and when this we remove this pressure this dial gauge, this pressure gauge, at that time again this fluid will start to go back here, and this pointer will again come back here at this particular point. Okay, so this is the simple mechanism working of this Bourdon to pressure gauge. Okay, this is used for measurement of the positive pressure. Positive pressure means pressure greater than the atmospheric pressure. Okay, zero here, zero indicates the pressure, atmospheric pressure. Atmospheric pressure is considered as a datum. Okay, आणि हा जो पुढचा प्रेशर आहे, that is the gauge pressure, positive pressure. And to measure the negative pressure, similar kind of dial gauge will be there. Okay, but readings will be different. जो हा जो पॉइंटर आहे, this pointer will be here. हा पॉइंटर 0 तसा या साईडला असेल, आणि इथून या डायरेक्शन मध्ये ते रीडिंग या ठिकाणी मेजर करत जाईल. ओके, द प्रेशर विच इज लेस दॅन atmospheric pressure, or we call it as a vacuum pressure or negative pressure. If you want to measure this, then in that case we use the vacuum gauge. त्या गेजचं नाव आहे व्हॅक्यूम गेज, तो आपण त्या ठिकाणी वापरतो. ओके, सिमिलरली हिअर द युनिट्स विल बी सेम, PSI or kg per centimeter square. कलरवरून आपलं तुमच्या लक्षात येईल, रेड कलर, PSI is written in red color, so inner reading will be for the PSI unit, and this black color kg per centimeter square is written in black color, so the outer reading will be for that. Either you can use any one of this unit for the measurement purpose. Okay, so this was about the measurement of pressure with the help of different pressure measuring devices. Now here we are going to see the measurement of discharge by using measuring tank. Okay, हे आपण या ठिकाणी बघणार आहोत. And then I will show you the manometers, differential manometer, then piezometer. Okay, and then pressure gauges I will show here in the lab. Okay, measurement of discharge using measuring tank. There are different devices which can be used for measurement of the pressure, but if you don't have any kind of devices, then how you can measure the discharge with the help of simple rectangular tank or with the help of simple container which is having some graduations, right? Now here, can anyone tell me what will be the formula to find out the volume of the tank? Okay, suppose L is the length of the tank, then B is the width of the tank, and H is the height of the tank. Who will tell me the formula of the volume of this tank?
L into B into H.
Correct. So cross section area चा काय असेल? L into B, right? This is the length, this is the width. L into B. And if I want to find out the volume, then I have to multiply it by height. Then it will become H. Okay. This is the parallelogram. Okay. And this can be called as the cuboid or cube, right? This is the cube. So discharge of this cube will be LVH. Okay. Cube generally it has the what I can say, it has all the three sides same, but cuboid or parallelepiped we can say having different sizes. So LVH can be used as a formula to find out the discharge, to find out the volume of this tank. Now suppose to fulfill some amount of tank, okay, some amount of volume, okay, here, how much time it has taken? Can we find out that with the help of stopwatch? Okay, see here, to measure, now this measuring tank in this particular apparatus you can see here, this is one tank which is called as the sump tank. या टँकला आपण म्हणतो sump tank, आणि this is the measuring tank. ओके, हे जे आपण डायग्राम केली अशा टाईपचा एक टँक हा या ठिकाणी असतो, मेजरिंग टँक. ठीक आहे, इट हॅज द आउटलेट हिअर, इनलेट या ठिकाणी इथून पाणी आतमध्ये पडतं, आणि ह्या आउटलेट मधून तिथं खाली एक वॉल बसवलेला आहे, तिथून पाणी कंटिन्युअसली बाहेर पडत असतं. whenever we want to measure the discharge flowing through this pipe, या पाईप मधून फ्लो होणारा डिस्चार्ज आपल्याला ज्यावेळेस मेजर करत असतो, at that time what we do, we close this wall. We know the cross section area of this tank. या क्रॉस हा जो टँक आहे याची लेंथ आणि इनर लेंथ आणि विड्थ हे आपल्याला माहित असतं, दिस L and B, it is known to us. If we don't know, then we can measure with the help of tape, or we can with the help of scale we can measure the dimensions, inner dimensions of this tank. And after that, to this tank there is one piezometric tube is connected here, so that we can visualize, we can see how much what is the water level at that particular point. ओके, जसं या टँक मध्ये पाणी वाढायला लागतं तसं हे ट्यूब जे या ठिकाणी कनेक्ट केलेले असते, दॅट ट्यूब ऑल्सो देयर विल बी राइज इन वॉटर इन दॅट ट्यूब ऑल्सो, बिकॉज इट इज कनेक्टेड टू द इनसाइड. ओके, जशी पाण्याची लेवल वाढत जाते तशी या ट्यूब मध्ये पण पाणी वाढायला लागतं. ओके, so with the help of this tube we can understand at what is the level of water inside the tank. To this tube there is a connection, one scale is attached to it here. Okay, एक scale या ठिकाणी बसलेली असते for measurement of the level of water. Okay, at certain level what we do, we close the wall. हा wall आपण close करतो. Okay, unless and until this wall is closed, we cannot fill this tank. Okay, हा wall close केल्यानंतर काय होतं, पाणी हळूहळू याच्यामध्ये भरायला लागतं. Okay, we define initial level of the water, let us say 10 centimeter. 10 सेंटीमीटर आल्यानंतर आपण काय करतो, या ठिकाणी स्टॉपवॉच एक आपल्याकडे आहे, घड्याळाचा जो आपला मोबाईल मध्ये स्टॉपवॉच असतो, ओके, किंवा एक सेपरेट स्टॉपवॉच असतो. विथ हेल्प ऑफ दॅट स्टॉपवॉच व्हॉट वी डू, वी स्टार्ट द टाइम ऍट पर्टिक्युलर लेवल. से 10 सेंटीमीटरला आपण या ठिकाणी स्टॉपवॉच स्टार्ट केला, आणि 20 सेंटीमीटर आल्यानंतर आपल्याला तो बंद करायचा आहे. जसं पाण्याची लेवल या ठिकाणी वाढत जाईल, ऍज वॉटर गो ऑन रायझिंग, ऍट when the water, there is a disconnection. So I was telling you about how to measure the discharge here. So you can see here, हे 10 सेंटीमीटरला आपण इनिशियल लेवल आणि 20 सेंटीमीटरला आपण फायनल लेवल या ठिकाणी फिक्स केली. म्हणजे आपण किती पाण्याची राईज आपण या ठिकाणी मेजर करतोय, 10 सेंटीमीटरची. ठीक आहे, हे 10 centimeter you can convert afterwards in meter. It will be 0.1 meter, right? So ह्याची लेंथ आणि आपल्याला विड्थ माहित आहे, एल इंटू बी माहित आहे, एच आपल्याला माहित नव्हती, आपण ह्या ठिकाणी आता ते आपण त्या ठिकाणी sorry students, my mic was off. I have told you some few things. I will repeat it once again. So I forgot to start the mic as a few minutes before I close it. So once again, I will repeat it. See here, I was telling you about how to measure the discharge. Okay. For the measurement of discharge has the formula discharge Q is equal to volume divided by time. Okay. So volume is in SI 16, volume is measured in meter cube, time is measured in second. So meter cube per second is the unit of discharge. Discharge is denoted. See here, there is a fluctuation, and because of the fluctuation, when this network goes, at that time automatically this my mic becomes off. Okay, so that's why it is happening like this. So to formula to measure the discharge is Q is equal to, discharge is denoted by letter capital Q. So Q is equal to volume upon time. Okay, so volume is measured in meter cube in SI unit and time is measured in second. So the SI unit of discharge is meter cube per second. So how to measure the discharge? If the dimensions of the tanks are L into B into H. Okay, so volume of tank will be L into B into H, right? And if we divide that time to fulfill the tank, एक ठराविक अमाउंट मध्ये टँक भरण्यासाठी तेवढं व्हॉल्यूम भरण्यासाठी किती वेळ लागला, त्या आपण टाइमने जर आपण याला डिवाइड केलं तर आपल्याला या ठिकाणी काय भेटतो, डिस्चार्ज भेटून जातो. सो डिस्चार्ज हॅज द फॉर्म्युला, दिस फॉर्म्युला Q इज इक्वल टू, वरती न्यूमरेटर मध्ये आहे व्हॉल्यूम, हाऊ इट इज कॅल्क्युलेटेड, क्रॉस सेक्शन एरिया ऑफ द टँक, हा टँकचा क्रॉस सेक्शन एरिया, ओके, L into B into rise in water level, that is the volume upon time. हा टाइम कसा मेजर करायचा, विथ हेल्प ऑफ स्टॉप वॉच. आपल्या मोबाईल मध्ये वगैरे असतो स्टॉप वॉच, त्याचा वापर करून आपण त्या ठिकाणी टाइम मेजर करायचा. आता या ठिकाणी हे व्हॉल्यूम कसं मेजर करणार, टू दिस पर्टिक्युलर मेजरिंग टँक, याच्या साईडला एक पिझोमेट्रिक ट्यूब कनेक्ट केले असते, एक ट्रान्सपरंट ट्यूब विच इज कनेक्टेड टू दिस टँक. ओके, ॲज वॉटर, वेन वी क्लोज दिस वॉल, आपण हा आउटलेट वॉल ज्यावेळेस बंद करतो, ॲट दॅट टाइम water will start to collect inside this tank. It will rise inside the tank water level. Okay, या ठिकाणी आपण काय करतो, इनिशियल लेवल पाण्याची आपण फिक्स करून ठेवतो की या आल्यानंतर आपल्याला स्टार्ट म्हणायचं आहे. फॉर एक्झाम्पल से 10 सेंटीमीटर पाण्याची राईज झाल्यानंतर आपण या ठिकाणी काय म्हणणार, हा स्टॉपवॉच जो आपण त्या ठिकाणी स्टार्ट करणार. ओके, वी विल स्टार्ट दॅट अँड वी विल डिफाईन हाऊ मच, किती पाणी त्या ठिकाणी वाढवायचं आपल्याला, किती पाणी येईपर्यंत आपल्याला ते टाइम मेजर करायचं आहे, हे पण आपण अगोदर डिफाईन करून ठेवणार. लेट अस से 20 सेंटीमीटर राईज आपल्याला त्या ठिकाणी पाहिजे असेल, ओके, तेवढंच आपण पाण्याची राईज त्या ठिकाणी घेणार आहोत 20 सेंटीमीटर. सो आता हे स्टार्ट केलं तर आपण 10 सेंटीमीटरला आणि 20 सेंटीमीटर राईज पाहिजे, म्हणजे 10 + 20 केल्यानंतर कितीला आपण स्टॉप केलं पाहिजे, 30 सेंटीमीटर. ओके, 30 सेंटीमीटरला ज्यावेळेस पाण्याची लेवल येते त्यावेळेस आपण त्या ठिकाणी काय म्हणणार, त्या स्टॉप वॉचला स्टॉप करणार. ठीक आहे, हे जो पिझोमेट्रिक ट्यूब आहे याच्या साईडलाच या ठिकाणी एक स्केल असते, त्या स्केलचा वापर करून आपण हे मेजरमेंट करू शकतो. आपल्या ह्याची क्रॉस सेक्शन एरिया तर ऑलरेडी आपल्याला माहित आहे, की राईज आपण या ठिकाणी घेतली 20 सेंटीमीटर. सो कन्वर्ट दॅट 20 सेंटीमीटर टू मीटर, बिकॉज वी वॉन्ट टू फाइंड इट इन एस आय लेट, सो इट विल बिकम 0.2. म्हणजे या ठिकाणी काय करायचं आहे, जो क्रॉस सेक्शन एरिया आहे त्याला 0.2 ने मल्टिप्लाय करायचं आणि तो स्टॉपवॉच मध्ये जो टाइम आलेला आहे त्या टाइमने या ठिकाणी डिवाइड करायचं. मग ते डिवाइड केल्यानंतर आपल्याला त्याचा डिस्चार्ज भेटून जातो. ठीक आहे, सो दिस इज द सिंपल वे or the simple procedure for finding the discharge with help of measuring tank. Measuring tank चा वापर करून हे discharge या ठिकाणी आपल्याला easily find out करते. This is the observation table for for finding the discharge with help of measuring tank. This is the universal table. It can be used whenever you want to find out the actual discharge. Then at that time you can use this table. Prepare this table in your notebook. It has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 columns are there. Okay, prepare the 5 columns. First one is the serial number. Second column मध्ये आहे rise in water level in the measuring tank. Okay, ऑब्झर्वेशन तुम्हाला काय काय करायचे, हे दोन ऑब्झर्वेशन करायचे, दिस वन अँड दिस वन. राईज इन वॉटर लेवल म्हणजे हे पिझोमेट्रिक ट्यूब मध्ये तुम्हाला पाण्याची राईज किती आहे ते आपण ऑलरेडी डिफाईन करून या ठिकाणी आपण हे करू शकतो की पाण्याची लेवल या ठिकाणी लिहायची, राईज इन वॉटर लेवल. क्रॉस सेक्शन एरिया ऑलरेडी तुम्हाला माहित असतो त्या ठिकाणी, क्रॉस सेक्शन एरिया या ठिकाणी टाकून द्यायचं. ठीक आहे, मी क्रॉस सेक्शन एरिया टाकून दिल्यानंतर स्टॉपवॉच मध्ये किती टाइम आलाय तो ऑब्झर्वेशन या ठिकाणी लिहायचं. ठीक आहे, राईज इन वॉटर लेवल काढल्यानंतर क्रॉस सेक्शन एरिया मल्टिप्लाइड बाय दिस राईज इन वॉटर लेवल, यू विल गेट द व्हॉल्यूम. ते कॅल्क्युलेशन करून व्हॉल्यूम या ठिकाणी टाकून द्यायचं. देन दिस व्हॉल्यूम डिवाइडेड बाय दिस टाइम, यू विल गेट द डिस्चार्ज. ओके, मग हा डिस्चार्ज या ठिकाणी त्याची व्हॅल्यू टाकून द्यायची. दिस इज व्हेरी सिंपल. आय विल शो यू actually how to measure the discharge in our lab. First prepare this table, 1, 2, 3, 4 columns, rows. Is it over? See, everyone has to draw these tables in your notebook. Everyone has to note down the readings, do the calculation part. Is it over? झाल्यानंतर सांगा मला. Yes, I want the answers from your side. Response from your side, whether drawing the table is over, observation table for the measuring discharge.
Yes, sir.
Okay. See, I was telling you about this working. I have told you. So I want to show here a small video about this, how it is measured.
When an elastic transducer, such as burden tube in this case, is subjected to a pressure, it deflects. This deflection is proportional to the applied pressure when calibrated. Construction. A C-type burden tube consists of a long, thin-walled cylinder of non-circular cross-section, which is sealed at one end. This tube is made from materials such as phosphor bronze, steel, and beryllium copper, and attached by a light mechanism
Is it audible
which
to all?
operates the pointer. The other end of the tube is fixed and is open for the application of the pressure, which is to be measured. The tube is soldered or welded to a socket at the base, through which the fluid, whose pressure is to be measured, enters the C-type burden tube. Working of burden tube pressure gauge. As the fluid under pressure enters the burden tube, it tries to change the cross-section of the tube from oval to circular, and this tends to straighten out the tube. The tip of the burden tube is connected to a segmental lever through an adjustable link. The segmental lever end on the segment side is provided with a rack which meshes to a suitable pinion mounted on a spindle. The segmental lever is suitably pivoted and the spindle holds the pointer. The resulting movement of the free end of the tube causes the pointer to move over the scale. In real-life application, the pressure gauges are mounted with siphon tube. Siphon tube is a simple device used to protect a pressure sensor from high-temperature media, such as steam. It can also be used to reduce the potentially damaging effects of rapid pressure changes. When first installed, the siphon should be filled with water or some other suitable separating medium. This medium continuously remains in contact with the burden tube. Burden tubes are generally made in three shapes: C-type, helical type, and spiral type. Advantages of burden tube pressure gauges. 1. These burden tube pressure gauges give accurate results. 2. The cost of burden tube pressure gauges is low. 3. Burden tube are simple in construction. 4. They can be modified to give electrical outputs. 5. They are safe even for high pressure measurement. 6. Accuracy is high, especially at high pressures.
Okay. So the theory part of this main concept of this practical is over. Now we will show you how to perform this practical. For that purpose, I need to start the Zoom app on my phone.
Recording in progress.
Hi students, am I audible to all?
Yes, sir.
Okay. See here. First of all, I will show you the pressure measuring devices. Okay. In pressure measuring devices, first we have seen the piezometer, right? On this practical setup, you can see the piezometric tubes have been attached here. Actually, this is the apparatus for the measuring verification of Bernoulli's theorem. Okay, and here you can see these are the various piezometric tubes. Transparent tubes are there, and along this piezometric tube, you can see there is a scale for measurement of rise in water level inside this piezometric tube. this particular scale has been attached here. Okay, as water rises here, you can take down the readings of that here on this particular scale. Okay, as much pressure is more increases here, that much water will rise inside these tubes. Okay, and as much it becomes lower, then again water will drop here. So the rise in this tube, this rise in tube is called as the pressure head. Okay, and this pressure head, actually it is the pressure at this particular point inside the pipe. This is a tapered pipe. You can see this is the cross section is here decreasing, and again it is increasing here. Okay, so this practical we are going to see in the next lecture, next practical session. Okay, just here I have shown you the piezometric tube, how it looks on every device. You can see this piezometric tube here also. Okay, and this is the measuring tank. This tank is called the measuring tank. There is another tank. This tank is the sump tank, and this is the measuring tank. In most of the devices, wherever we want to measure the discharge, there you can see such kinds of measuring tank. Here also you can see there is one measuring tank, and this is the sump tank in which water is there. And in this to this measuring tank, you can see there is one piezometric tube. It has been attached here. The purpose of this tube is not to measure the pressure head. Here we are going to just measure the rise in water level inside the tank. Initially, now here I am talking about this measurement of discharge. Okay, so we'll see it later on. Just think about this piezometric tube. Next is about the simple tube manometer and differential tube manometer. Okay, here on this device. Now this device is nothing but it is the device for calibration of venturimeter or orifice meter. Okay, here you can see there is a one venturimeter. This is the device venturimeter, and this is the orifice meter. This practicals we are going to perform afterwards, but I am showing you this device to show you how the differential manometer it looks. This is the arrangement of the differential manometer. Okay, here this is the left limb and this is the right limb, and there is a mercury inside this tube. You can observe here. This is a mercury as a manometric fluid. Okay, this mercury, it will goes below, and on other side it will rise here. Okay, wherever there is a rise in more pressure is there, at that time it will drop here, and where there is a low pressure, it will rise on that particular side. Okay, this is the scale for measurement of the difference between these two mercury levels. Okay, that H value I have you have written in your notebook, that H is nothing but difference in this mercury level. That just we have to note down. And this limb of this left limb is connected. You can see here it is connected like this, and it is connected to the this pipe. Okay, this is the venturimeter. This is the throat section here. This is the converging section, and here diverging section is here. So at the throat section and here beginning of the converging section, there is another end of the differential manometer is connected. You can see here this tube, how it is connected. From here water will rise here, it will go inside the tube. Okay, water will go inside this tube from this side, also this side it will go inside the tube, and in which side the pressure is more, from that it will start to increase the pressure that push that mercury below on that side, and it will rise like that. Okay, here are the tubes. Here these knobs are provided here so that water can come inside, or we want to stop the water from coming inside here. So whenever we are dealing with the differential manometer, at that time what we have to do, we have to open this balls simultaneously. Okay, हे जे दोन बॉल आहेत हे आपल्याला दोन्ही बॉल ऍट ए टाइम ओपन करायचे. ज्यावेळेस आपला पंप चालू असतो आणि आपण ज्यावेळेस इथे रीडिंग घेणार आहेत, त्यावेळेस हे दोन्ही बॉल जे आहेत हे दोन्ही बॉल ऍट ए टाइम आपल्याला ओपन करायचे, सो दॅट otherwise what will happen if ball is closed and ball is open. So at that time there is not pressure, water is not coming inside here. Okay, but water is coming from inside here. And if suppose there is a more pressure inside this particular pipe, okay, water pressure is more, at that time what is going to happen, this water is going to push this mercury below here with great pressure, and this mercury, it may come here, it will rise here, it may come outside through this knob inside this tank. It may fall inside the tank. Okay. So while starting this manometers, okay, while opening this knobs, so at a time you have to open both the knobs, and while closing also, this knobs we have to close it simultaneously. The दोन्ही at a time आपल्याला या ठिकाणी open आणि close करायचे. ठीक आहे. So that precaution we have to take here. Again, there are these knobs are provided. So these two knobs they have been provided here because on only one device, एकाच सेटअप वरती दोन डिव्हाइस या ठिकाणी बसवलेले आहेत, एक वेंचुरीमीटर आणि ओरिफिसमीटर आहे. त्यासाठी ही अरेंजमेंट या ठिकाणी प्रोव्हाइड केली आहे. ज्यावेळेस आपण वेंचुरीमीटर रन करतो, हा वेंचुरीमीटरचा पाईप आहे, हा जर आपण रन करतो त्यावेळेस आपल्याला हा नॉब ओपन करायचा आहे, आणि ज्यावेळेस आपण ओरिफिसमीटर हा वापरतो त्यावेळेस आपल्याला याचा खालचा नॉब हा त्या ठिकाणी आपल्याला वापरायचा आहे. यू कॅन ऑल्सो सी हिअर ऑल्सो बोथ नॉब्स आर गुड. ज्यावेळेस आपण वेंचुरीमीटर वापरत असतो, दिस इज द वेंचुरीमीटर नॉब, दिस इज द ट्यूब कमिंग फ्रॉम द वेंचुरीमीटर. याचाच फक्त वॉल ओपन करायचा आहे. दिस वॉल वी हॅव टू कीप इट ओपन अँड दिस वॉल शुड बी केप्ट क्लोज. कारण हा ओरिफिसमीटर आपण त्यावेळेस वापरत नसतो, त्यावेळेस त्याचा वॉल हा बंद करायचा. यू कॅन सी दिस पाईप हॅज बीन कनेक्टेड विथ टू दी this orifice. Okay, so this was about this differential manometer. Simple tube manometer, how it looks. So I will show it here on this device. So this is the actual setup for the measurement of pressure. Okay, here you can see this is the simple tube manometer. Okay, this is the differential manometer. In simple tube manometer, one end of this simple tube manometer is connected to the pipe measured, and other end it is kept open to the atmosphere. The दूसरा जो end आहे हा atmosphere ला open असतो. Okay, so here as water comes here, it will push this mercury, and this mercury will rise here inside the tube, and you will measure the difference in the mercury. That formula you will use, and with the help of that formula you can find out what is the pressure inside the pipe. Differential manometer, we have to connect it both ends of the differential manometer to the both pipes to the 2 points, okay, for measurement of the difference of the pressure. Similarly, again in differential manometers we have another type which is called as the inverted differential manometer. Okay, it is similar to this differential manometer, but here you can see this differential manometer is inverted. Okay, means त्याचे जे limbs आहेत ते खाली उलटे. Okay, हे तुम्हाला डिटेल मध्ये नंतर आपण याच्यामध्ये शिकणार आहोत युनिट नंबर 2 मध्ये, इन्व्हर्टेड ट्यूब मॅनोमीटर. ओके, देन दिस इज द इन्क्लाइन ट्यूब मॅनोमीटर. याचे ट्यूब जे आहेत ती अशी इन्क्लाइन केलेली आहे, इन्क्लाइन सिंगल कॉलम मॅनोमीटर, अँड दिस इज द व्हर्टिकल सिंगल कॉलम मॅनोमीटर. ओके, याचा कॉलम जो आहे तो कसा व्हर्टिकल आहे, याचा इन्क्लाइन आहे, अँड दीज आर द प्रेशर गेजेस. यू कॅन सी this is the Mardan to pressure gauge, and this is the vacuum gauge. So I have told you for measurement of positive pressure we use this kind of pressure gauge, and for measurement of the negative pressure or vacuum pressure we use the vacuum gauge. You can see the difference. 0 is here on the left side, and here 0 is on the right side. याच्यामध्ये उलटा हा एंटी क्लॉकवाइज हा फिरेल, हा पॉइंटर, आणि याच्यामध्ये हा क्लॉकवाइज दिस पॉइंटर will rotate here. Again you can see there are two units, LB, pound per inch, and here kg per centimeter square. Outer unit is the kg per centimeter square, and inner unit measurement is of the pound per inch square. And here you can see there are again two units are there. Outside it is mm of Hg. Okay, millimeter of mercury, the reading is there, and you can see these values they are ठिकाणी अशा लिहिलेले आहेत, 100 200. आतलं जे युनिट आहे इंच पर Hg. ओके, मर्क्युरीचं युनिट आहे inch per Hg, again anti-clockwise direction. So these are the pressure measuring devices that has been connected here. Okay, so now time is about to finish. We will stop here. In the next practical we will actually measure the pressure and discharge measurement also. This with the help of this tank we will measure the discharge. Okay, how to measure the discharge we will see there. I have to take the attendance.